You see, coming to a forest guide that the government is initiating now, they're supposed to have done it since ever, even from the Jonathan regime. They could have done this forest guide. Because if they've done this forest guide and the forest is guided, I don't see where Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen should have operated. Even Ashwab, even Nakura, and this current one in Okwara, Mahadi, Mamuda, all of them are operating from the forest. And if you watch, Nigeria is a wide versatile land which have thick forests. Like without forest guide, individual cannot go to the forest to guide it. And if there's forest guide, farmers will not be killing in their farmland. If there's forest guide, headmen cannot be wandering. Kidnappers cannot be kidnapping. Because when they kidnap, they run into forest. But if there's forest guide, kidnapper cannot kidnap and run into forest. You understand what I'm saying? But this forest guide, if you watch all over the world, everybody do have forest guide. But if Nigeria own will be sincere now, that Mr. President want to start it, if it will be sincere, if it's not a deceit under the guide of pretense of forest guide, if it's not the way to allow Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram to still occupy the forest, you understand? If the forest guard will be the indigenous people of that state, indigenous people of that local government, indigenous people of that town, indigenous people of that community. If it will be the people that in this way, it's okay. But if to make it like a federal character or like a youth corps, where you bring people together, you recruit people. When you recruit them, then you deploy them to every state, from east to west, from north to from west to east, from east to north, from north to east. You just dispatch them. It will be very dangerous because it will enable all these killers, these terrorists, these herdsmen. It will enable repeated Boko Haram. It will enable bandits to still occupy forests. Because they may recruit from north, all these bandits from north, and send them to east or west. In the name of forest guard, they start killing. In the name of forest guard. Or they will go in there, occupy the forest, understand the trend of the forest before they will march down to north. Because if you watch it now, Ruga have failed, Waterway have failed, Cattle Colony have failed, Cattle Ranch have failed, hunters have failed. Now they may try to use this forest guide in disguise and to push these killers down to south and the remaining part of middle belt to wipe up it. And they will say it's constitutional. Federal government, the president have signed it. The government have approved it. Well, the restructure Nigeria did not to say no. Vice President said, restructuring on my foot. That's quench. And if this forest guard will not be another way to bring the Igbo boys out to join, for them to buy them. Because if we watch, Igbo boys have refused to join Nigerian army. If Nigerian police, Nigerian armed forces, Igbo people, Igbo youth have refused to join. Maybe this will be another poly to bring them out. Yeah, it's not that you are not going anywhere. It's a forest guard. They will recruit them. They will give them one pump action. In the next 3-4 months, they will decide them and take them to north and set them up with Boko Haram to buy them. If it not be like that, then the forest guard will be good. You understand? If it will be really to checkmate the vendors, to checkmate the brother Boko Haram, to checkmate the herders and the Fulani Muslim jihadists, if the way to checkmate them, then forest guard is fine. Look at it. Amateku is part of the forest guard. Amateku is part of the forest guard. And if you want, little that Amateku have do, they are tried. And if watch, Amateku is not on the road. They are not on a checking point. They are not arresting people for civil offenses. They are only guarding the forest against the vendors, against the herders. And because of Amateku was there, Nnamdi was able to establish Insecurity network. And if you watch Insecurity network, since they were formed, for the little one they operate, they are not in town. They never attack any army checkpoint, as army checkpoint full all over their land. Insecurity was never one they come to attack army checkpoint. The time we had the killing here, and it was unknown gunmen, not Eastern Security Network. They only the forest, guarding forest, doing everything, no? But still, federal government tagged them terrorists. When they did not embarrass anybody, they only the forest. Still, federal government went to the forest, the Nigerian troops went to the forest to look for them to kill them. They did not come to town. They never want to abuse government. They never want them to put in politics, Nigerian politics. The only forest guide. Now, this if Tinubu is assigning forest guard now, if the guard is right to raise ESN, the 5 states in the west are right to raise up Amateku. You understand what I'm saying? But look at it. In the north, the rest is gone. Who going destroying people's shop? You are selling this, you are selling that. That one is not offense. That one is not a division. That one is one Nigeria. Have you see what I'm telling you? So let this forest guard be a reality of forest guide, not destruction in disguise.
But do you not think just like what happened in Borno State, where Boko Haram used drone, to burn vehicles of the Nigerian military? We even saw Nigerian military had to run for their day life. Even some are even crying that they are no longer interested in the Nigerian military. Do you think with this will reduce the level of insecurity there in the northern part?
This is, as I said, this is part of it. That people are refusing to join Nigerian Army now. And Nigerian Army themselves, the remaining ones are tired. Because how can the government say you recruit army to protect the nation and you allow bandits, you allow Boko Haram to be using drone against the army, and the army don't get the drone? Where you will see army operating fully with the fighter jet is in east, but in the Maiduguri and north, they cannot operate. Is that one Nigeria? Is that Nigerian army? This is what people are running, and because people are running, the remaining really Nigerian army are killing by these bandits, are killing by Boko Haram. Therefore, the remaining ones try to run away. Because of it, they're trying to again to introduce forest guide, so that people will come in the name of forest guide, and then we help them to push them to Borno or other area that the bandits have taken over. Have you seen? Because of shortage in security system, security personnel of Nigeria that lead to this forest guide. Shortage of Nigerian security personnel that is what lead to this forest guide, so that they help people to come up.
Fanika has come out to say that Nigeria that Tinubu should tackle the people sponsoring this Boko Haram. He said there are people that are sponsoring them, that they should trace the account of these people, trace the account of how they get funds and stuff like that. Do you think that the federal government should be looking into this, or do you think that the Nigerian government are not just serious? Because we know that there was one time that Saudi Arabia listed those that sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, but Buhari government didn't do anything. Do you not think the Nigerian government should be tracking those on how money are being given to this Boko Haram bandits?
If you look at it, it seems that the people that are sponsoring Boko Haram or bandits or Fulani herdsmen, they do not hide. I think Nanti Allah was there. Nanti Allah, Nigerian Cattle Beef Association, business people, they are there, and they are in the corridor of power. The traditional rulers are in corridor of power, who are sponsoring them. All politicians are in corridor of power, who are sponsoring them. The top military personnel are in the corridor of power, who are sponsoring them. Therefore, when I'm talking of federal government to arrest them, federal government to trace them, it's not only Tinubu. These people, this group of people I mentioned to you, are part of the federal government. We trace this bandit sponsor. How can you stand and expose yourself? Is it possible? How can you come out and condemn yourself and say, I'm doing this? Is it possible? It's not possible. So when you say federal government, don't jump pack the load upon the head of Tinubu. Tinubu is a figurehead. It's one person. When these people take a decision finish, people only came up and announced it. Even the senators cannot pass law. Low chamber and upper chamber cannot pass law to trace the people because these people are still in the low chamber and the high chamber and upper chamber. They're still there. They are part of the decision makers. So it's not easy to fetch them out. Unless there's a revolution in Nigeria. I'm not talking of protests. I'm not talking of protests. I'm not talking of rebellion. I'm not talking of something like end march, end the SARS. But if there's really revolution in Nigeria, before you can fetch these people out. But for democratic process, you cannot take them out. By military coup, you cannot take them out. Because every coup, they are going to sponsor it. Every coup, they are going to supervise it. Every coup that did not favor them, the coup will fall. Democracy, if they did not appoint you and to pour evil oil upon your head, when you enter there, you don't know to do good, but you know to do bad, you cannot be there. That's the problem, to fetch them out. It's only God can fetch them out.
A well-determined plan to bring the Igbos down educationally, but you can't do it. You know why? In Nigeria today, it is people that have money that go school, and we have money.
As registrar of JAMB, I hold myself personally responsible including for the negligence of the service provider and I unreservedly apologize for it. And the trauma it has affected Nigerians to, directly or indirectly. We have decided that all the candidates affected in the 157 centers of the 882 be contacted to retake their examinations. These candidates are to be contacted through text messages addressed to their registered phone number from tomorrow, their email addresses, their profiles, and phone calls by JAMB. They are directed to reprint their examination slips for the rescheduled examination dates.
See, over the years, in 2017, Elo Chukwuonyuke from Onitsha actually scored 9A1. 9A1. A Yoruba WAEC registrar said no, he did expo. Elo Chukwu cried to the Yoruba registrar, sir, I didn't do expo. Sir, can you give me another exam? The registrar, they invited Elo Chukwu to Abuja, gave Elo Chukwu another exam. Elo Chukwu write A1 into 9 again. The whole lawyers in Anambra gathered and meet the Yoruba WAEC or JAMB registrar and say, Oga, if this boy commits suicide or something happens to him, we'll take it upon you. Oga, they actually found out that since Obi's inception in 2005, Anambra State is always #1, followed by Imo State. Imo State used to be #1 in education in Nigeria. Oga, we know they make mouth. We dey try our stuff, whom we are. We are not bribery. We don't have special center in Igbo land. Anambra is where I come from. Oga, the inspector with guns, the inspector in examination, calling the officials from Ministry of Education in Igbo land. That was during my time. If you see a man from Anambra State that decided to read book, we are the best. Imo State is coming #1. That's the history. Oga, this part of the world is where you see people bragging of whom they are not. Listen, the WAEC registrar, the JAMB registrar, I challenge them again. Have they forgotten Elochukwu Onyuke from Ndi Okereke Onyuke? That boy nearly killed himself. They said he cheated. Oga, we are number one. This WAEC Palava and JAMB Palava, the registrar should resign. He should resign. He caused problem for Ndibo in the southeast, so that we will go down in education. Oga, I don't want to know the region where he comes from. It's an orchestrated, well-determined plan to bring the Igbos down educationally. But we can't do it. You know why? In Nigeria today, it is people that have money that go school. And we have money. Okay, this very WAEC or JAMB session that they brought Anambra down, we will take it again and use our money and fly. We have money. God has given us money. Anybody that is a registrar, maybe north or southwest, thinking that he can bring Igbo man down, you have gone what? Mad. Because the next section we are going to be number one. Elochukwu Onyuke, he resat that exam in 2017 and got 9. A1 into 9. More people get this thing. Oh. This is a well orchestrated plan to bring down the Southeasterners educationally. He must resign. What kind of human error? Is it machine error or computer error? What kind of human error? Man controls computer. Computer does not operate itself. Forget about human, computer, or machine error.
So you feel it's a purposeful act?
I was once a student. That's why I'm speaking with alacrity. I grew up in Anambra State. I went to school in Anambra State before left for Southwest. There are intelligent people. People that drink their mother's breast, exclusive mostly, are intelligent. The Igbos are very intelligent people. I'm not hiding what I'm saying on social media. It's a well-orchestrated plan to bring us down. They brought us down politically when we won election in 2023. It is another well-orchestrated plan by Fulani Janjaweeds and their accolades to bring the Igbos down. I owe nobody any apology. JAMB registrar, resign. Why are you not resigning? If it could be in the Western world, Oga, nothing like Richard there. It is not election. Oga, it's not election. If it is in the Western world, the white man should resign. Why are you not resigning when you commit such dastard act?
Well, he has taken.
He was weeping, but weeping doesn't move us. Oga, weeping no dey move us. Nothing like emotional. Oga, when you make such dangerous mistake, you resign. God will be happy. God will say yes. Because you don't want the occurrence of such omission. But failure to resign, you are there again to do it again and again. You must resign. Once upon a time, a boy, Elochukwu Onyuke, actually made all his papers up to 9A1. They actually abused him, allegedly that he, was involved in examination malpractices. And this boy was so embittered. He went to the WAEC office and said, "Sir, I didn't. I read my book too well, sir. If you don't believe me, give me another exam." They took Onyuke Elochukwu to Abuja. He sat for another WAEC exam. He made it again. 9 A's. Oga Igbos, don't play with Igbo children. This is a well-determined, predetermined, orchestrated plans to bring the Southeastern youths down. Oga, since Obi's inception, 2005 till date, Anambra State is #1 in education. Well-equipped lab, buses, everything. Obi doesn't siphon money now. Obi na money man. Today, they want Anambra to fail. That's why they tell you, say, why you do this thing? I owe nobody any apology. The registrar should resign. Simple.
But we see a lot of people on social media call out their governors. They said, when will they stop being a slave to the Fulani?
And the Fulani.
They said they are not coming to speak.
What Fulani say, they will do it. Our governor is, when Yoruba man comes out, is do like they don't go obey. Oga, the youths are casting the governors, insulting the governors, bringing the governors down. The youths are right. Governor of Southeastern states are slaves to the Fulani Janjaweeds and all their accolades in Nigeria. They have many accomplices that are bringing the Igbos down. I mean the Fulanis, You see what transpired in 2023 election. An Igbo man won election. A Fulani INEC rig it. He rig it for Yoruba. Yoruba and the Fulani has been ruling Nigeria. Look at the situation where we are today in Nigeria. Nigeria is not working. They want to take it to education because, of course, they know we are everywhere in the world. And education now is very expensive in Nigeria. And who is paying for education is Igbo man. Igbo man is paying. If you say Covenant University is 5 million per term, Igbo man will pay and put his children there because Igbo man has money. That's why they connive and do what? Did their mathematics well to scatter the Southeast, destroy the Southeast students that sat for this JAMB exam. Oga, it was a well orchestrated, predetermined plan to bring the Igbo man down in the sector or section of education. Oga, we always number one from Anambra State. When you actually study Igbo man on the continent of Africa, you will find out that we don't have opponents. We are not competing with anybody in Nigeria. No. We don't have opposition in Nigeria. And this is still paining the Fulani Janjaweeds and all their friends, other tribes in Nigeria that have serious abhorrence, hatred against Igbo man. All of them that see you and their hearts begin popping up and down because we are Igbo. They are now rejoicing because the Southeasterners are down in education after examination. They want to know why Anambra man is always first. They want to know why Imo State is always first. That's why they cause our parents this pain. All the children, Igbo children that went to sit for examination, they destroyed these children, inciting human error. The registrar, are you crying on camera for what? It doesn't change anything. Your cry doesn't change anything. If you weep out your tears, what has happened has happened. It is a well-orchestrated, predetermined plan to bring some persons down. We don't owe anybody apology. I am expressing my own opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. WAEC registrar should resign. The other years during Buhari regime, we actually learned how monkey jumped into WAEC office and stole money. Nigeria, WAEC, why? JAMB, why? Una lie, no they finish. Una cut off mark when una say somebody will go read medicine in 1988, 86, 85 must score almost 385. Cut off mark. That one no do now. Una don't go now. They cause wahala. Children they kill themselves. Someone committed crime among a baby girl over this human mistake or error of a thing in JAMB office. The registrar resign. Somebody has died. Oga resign. It doesn't want human life. Chop, 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 chop. You will stay there. After this kind of deadly, fatal mistake, error, you still insist you will be there. I owe you no apology. If it could be in the Western world, resignation is the next action you are required to take.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. I want to react to what is going on in Nigeria about the issue of JAMB, the mistake they said they made. The registrar burst tears and he was crying, drawing sympathy, and he was apologizing that he made a mistake, that only 5 eastern states, their candidates, there is mistake on their JAMB, and Lagos State. And check the statistics of Lagos. Who are the majority of the people who enroll for JAMB in Lagos? Do define them for yourself and you will understand what I will say in this video. Now, I am Okochapi myself. I am not an emotional human being. Most of you must have seen this video that happened. We have a lot of things to discuss. If you have not watched this video, take a listen. Dear listeners, I have a totally different opinion from what is circulating in Nigeria. As I said before, I don't react to emotion. I ask questions. I don't react to emotion. You can't manipulate me. First of all, let me encourage the registrar that, let us assume he made a mistake. He's coming out to apologize. He's coming out to shed tears. But let me ask the first question. What happened to resignation? How do we understand, or how are we going to know that these mistakes have not been occurring before? How do we come to believe you or believe JAMB that before they have not been failing people who pass? This is a call for resignation. If it is another country, you don't need to come out to start sharing tears on press briefing. You tender your resignation letter and bring it for everybody.